Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to study a new chapter, that is motion, from class 9th. So before starting the video, make sure you subscribe my channel and also press the bell button to get the notification at the earliest. Okay, let's start with the video. The first thing what we need to know is motion. What is motion? Okay, an object is said to be in motion if it changes its position with respect to time. As we know that an object is said to be in motion. Okay, the object is in motion if it changes its position with time. As the time passes, if the body changes its position, then only we can say that the object is in motion. So here you can see few examples: moving of vehicles, cricket ball, etc. Okay, so this is the example for motion, as well as all the planets revolving around the sun. Okay, you know that all the planets are revolving around the sun, so that is nothing but they are in motion. Okay, and you can also see some of the examples are popping up on the screen. So in that, first example is sea surfing. Okay, you can see that the person is surfing in the sea. So the sea is continuously in motion, and also the person who is surfing, he is also in motion. High speed train, you can see the movement of the train, it is very high. So you can say that the train is also in motion. Whereas the next example is snowboarding. You can see a person is moving on the snow, and he is also in motion. Next comes the rest position. Okay, so an object is said to be in rest if it do not change its position with respect to time. Okay, so we can say that an object is in rest. Okay, it is not moving if it do not change its position with time. Okay, as soon as the time passes, if the object does not change its position, it means the object is in rest position. So examples you can see: mountains, houses, roads, etc. So can you see these things, whether they are in motion, whether they are moving? No, they are in rest position. Even you can see one more example on the screen. There are 3 examples in that. Tools lying on the floor. Okay, you can see some tools which are lying on the floor. If you are not in touch with that tool, whether they are moving? No, it is not possible for them to move without anybody's help. So it means what? They are in the state of rest. Similarly, the bench in the park and the books on the table, until you touch them to move, they are not supposed to move. It means they are in the state of rest. Okay. Okay, so this is the 2 basic things which you have studied: motion and rest. Next, what we have to study is rest and motion are relative term. So how can this rest and motion be a relative term? So you have studied this motion and rest, both are completely different terms. Okay, so how can this be a relative term? So let us study it. You can see here, an object can be in rest as well as in motion at the same time. How is this possible? One object can be in rest as well as motion at the same time. How can it be possible? So let's see an example here. See the example: the passengers sitting in a car which is moving are at rest with respect to each other. Okay, suppose there are the passengers who are sitting in the car, okay, and the car is moving. So these passengers are at rest with respect to each other. Suppose there are 2 passengers who are sitting in a moving car. Okay, the car is moving, but the passenger feels that they are just sitting. They are just at the place of rest. Okay, but they are in motion at the same time with respect to the person or objects like tree, houses, shop, etc. Okay, if some person is standing outside of the car, which is any person or trees or houses, shops which are outside the car, they will feel that the 2 persons are in motion due to the motion of this car. I hope you are understanding this. See, here the 2 passengers are sitting in a moving car. Okay, so the passengers will see each other at the rest position, but the things which are outside the car, they will feel that these two passengers are moving. Okay, so we can say that the rest and motion both are relative term. It can be different for one another. Okay, so we can say these motions are very complex terms. Okay, so the next comes describing motion along a straight line. So you all have studied different types of motions, isn't it, maybe in your previous class. So there are many types of motion like curvilinear motion, circular motion, okay, and rotatory motion, vibratory motion. There are many other types of motions. Okay, so here the basic one we have to study, that is motion along a straight line. So the first thing what we have to study here is reference point, or it is also known as the origin. Okay, so what is this reference point? It is something which describes the position of the object with respect to itself. Okay, it is something which tells you the position of some object with itself, with respect to itself. So you can see here example, my school is 1 kilometer right side to the railway station. Okay, when you say this thing, my school is 1 kilometer right side to the railway station, here you can see here this railway station is nothing but the reference point. Okay, this railway station is nothing but the reference point. You say to someone that my school is 1 kilometer right side to the railway station, means you are giving a reference point as a railway station and telling that person that it is 1 kilometer right side to your railway station. Okay, this is what about the reference point. It is also known as origin. Next comes magnitude and direction. You know, I think I should need not to explain what is direction. You know what is direction: left, right, to the north, to the east. Okay, so all this comes under direction. So next is magnitude. What is magnitude? The numerical value of any physical quantity is nothing but magnitude. Okay, the numerical value of any physical quantity is nothing but magnitude. Okay, next comes two more quantities. One is distance traveled. You know what is distance traveled? Traveling from one place to another, and that is nothing but the distance. Okay, the distance what you travel is nothing but distance traveled. Similarly, displacement. Okay, both distance traveled as well as displacement is the same thing, but the only difference is the distance traveled is the sum of all the distance what you have traveled, whereas displacement, it is the shortest distance traveled from initial to final position. Okay, it is the shortest distance traveled from initial to final position. You can see the example on your screen. A simple example may be popping up on your screen. You can see the longer blue color line shows the distance traveled. It means whatever distance you have traveled, that is the curvilinear path. Okay, and the displacement is the shortest distance which you have traveled from A to B. So you can travel from A to B in two ways, that is one is in the curve path as well as one is in the straight line path. So the straight line path shows the displacement because it is the shortest distance, whereas the blue colored dotted line shows you the distance traveled. It means the total distance what you have traveled. Okay, so similarly you can see one more example on the screen. So here two things are given, that is school as well as house. Okay, you can see two things here, school as well as house. So the road what is given here, it shows the distance. Okay, it shows the distance, and the shortest distance from school to house is shown with a green color line. You can see on the screen. I think you have got an idea what is distance traveled as well as displacement. Displacement is nothing but the shortest distance traveled from initial position to your final position, whatever the position it is, initial to final position. Okay, So next we will see an example which shows the motion along a straight line. Okay. So here you can see an example, position of an object in a straight path. So this is the straight path, and there are three cases here. You can see there can be three cases here. So this point is taken as O, this 25 is taken as C, B is taken as 35, as well as A is taken as 60 kilometers. Okay. So there are three cases. So in the first case you can see object from O, okay, object from O moves to A, okay, then moves back to C. Okay, first an object from here, it moves to the place A and it again comes back along the straight path to the C point. So what is the answer here? How you can write it as? So first it travels from 0 to A. So OA. Okay, what is the value of OA? That is 60. Plus again it comes back with the same direction, that is AC. So you can see, so we need this distance AC. Okay, to find this distance, what you have to do is you have to subtract OA minus OC. Okay, as you subtract OA minus OC, you are going to get 60 minus 25, that is nothing but 35. You directly cannot write the value of AC as 25 because it will be wrong. 25 is the value from here to here. Okay, but from here to here the value is 35. As you can see here, what you have to do is, in this value OA, you have to minus OC. You will get the answer for AC. That is nothing but 35. 60 minus 25, that is 35. Okay. So when you are going to add this OA plus OC, 60 plus 35, you are going to get 95 kilometer. So what is this 95 kilometer? It is nothing but the distance traveled. As you can see, he is coming from O position to A position and he is going back from A position to C position. This is nothing but the distance traveled. Next, what will be the displacement? I told you displacement is nothing but the shortest distance traveled, that will be OC. Okay. See, on coming from O to A and again going back from A to C, it will be more distance, isn't it? It will be 95 kilometer. Instead, he will have a shortest distance, that is 0 to C, O to C, that is nothing but just 25 kilometers. So that is the displacement of the object. Okay. Next you can see in the case 2, object from O moves to A, okay, and again he moves back to B. So here we can write what is the distance traveled. Distance traveled will be OA. Okay, first he will go from O to A plus OA plus again he is coming back to the position B. So this is B. A to again he is coming back to B. So if we need this value AB, what we have to do is we have to subtract OA minus OB, that is 60 minus 35. What we are going to get is, sorry, here what we have to write, the distance traveled is OA plus AB. Okay, what we have to write is OA plus AB. So what is the value of OA? OA is 60 plus what is the value of AB? A and B, what we have to do to find out this? OA minus OB, that is 60 minus 35. We are going to get is 25. So what will be the answer here? 60 plus 25 is 85 kilometer. So this is nothing but the distance traveled. Okay, and what is the displacement? It is the shortest distance to move to B. How can we move to B? From 0 to B. Directly we can go to B. That is nothing but OB, which is equals to 35 kilometers. So this is the shortest distance traveled in this case. So the third case is an object from O moves to A. Okay, an object from O moves to A and back to O. So what will be the distance traveled here? The distance traveled will be OA plus AO, isn't it? So what is the value of OA? OA is 60 plus he's traveling back to the same direction. Okay, OA to O traveling back in the reverse direction. So it will be plus 60. So what is 60 plus 60? That is 120 kilometer. Okay, and what is the displacement here? Displacement is the shortest distance traveled from O to A, and again A to O means the distance traveled is from O to O. What is the displacement? Displacement is 0 as there is no distance. Distance is there. The person is moving from here to here, and again he is coming back to the same position. There is no change in the position. It means there will be displacement will be 0. There is no shortest distance between the initial position as well as the final position. Okay, because the initial position is also same and the final position is also same. So we can say that displacement will be 0 here. Okay. So next comes here uniform motion as well as non-uniform motion. So what is uniform motion? Okay, so what is uniform motion? If an object covers equal distances in equal interval of time, it is said to be in uniform motion. Means if the object which is moving, it covers equal distances in equal interval of time, it is said to be in uniform motion. You can see a photo popping up on the screen. So in that you can see a car is moving. Okay, a car is moving from O to A, that is from 0 meter to 4 meter in 2 seconds. Okay, again it is moving from A to B in from 4 meter to 8 meter, that is again it is moving 4 meter in 2 seconds. And again you can see from B to C it is moving from 8 meter to 12 meter, again you can see it is moving in 2 seconds. And C to D again it is moving in 2 seconds, that is 4 meter. So it means you can see the same equal distances. It is moving equal distances in equal time. You can see everywhere it is 2 seconds and everywhere there is 4 meter distance. It means it is equal distance as well as equal interval of time. Okay. So next comes the non-uniform motion. If an object covers unequal distances in equal interval of time, it is said to be in non-uniform motion. Unequal distances in equal interval of time. So you can see one more picture which is on your screen. Okay, that is a car is moving from O to C through A and B. Okay, so from O to A it is moving 1 meter in 2 seconds. Okay, and from A to B it is moving 10 meter in 2 seconds. And from B to C it is moving again 10 meter to 25 meter in 2 seconds. You can see there is no equal distances, but the time is same. Equal intervals of time is given, but there is unequal distances. So this is an example for your non-uniform motion. So I hope you have understood this. If you have any doubts regarding this, please comment me down below, and please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.